Alright. I think this is a good point as any to get going here. Let's see. Get this set, get that set. I think I'm about as good as I'm going to get here. Always crazy trying to get stuff and going on time and get things set right. I was going to do a live stream a few nights back, but then my laptop was giving me fits. I was trying StreamYards, I was trying EV Mux. I couldn't get anything to work, so I just fell back on old, reliable OBS Studio because I understand it of all things. Of course, I want to shout out in the chat Tim the Enchanter and Appion. Hello guys, thank you for joining me tonight. And anyone else there out, blah blah, I can speak. Hasn't been that long of a day. Anyone else out there who are lurking, thank you for checking me out. Let's see. Hello Tim, I'm doing well. Tim says, we had quite the thunderstorm last night. That's cool. It's been hot and dry where I am in my part of Texas. Appion, I'm still chilling with Raquel, trying to catch you later, but wanted to stop by and say hello. Leave a like and say have a great show. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. I was trying to put my live stream off because I didn't want to step over everyone or anyone live streaming right now. I didn't want to go much past midnight as a start time. I know the way everything's going schedule-wise, everybody's doing all their own shows. Tim the Enchanter, my sound is low. Okay, my sound is low. Let's see, does this sound any better? Test 1 2. Test 1 2. The wonders of live streaming. My sound is low. Goodness. I am plagued by gremlins left and right. I'm adjusting some knobs on my mixer. Can only hope that my sound improves. Does it sound any better, Tim? Any better at all? Let's see if I get closer to the mic. Let's see, I've got the gain up, I've got my settings up. I can only hope things are, oh I know, how about this right here? If I do this, get the meter into the yellow, 5, 6, 7, 8, listen to me modulate. About the same, about the same. Well, my meter says it's almost peaking in the red. If I go a bit more, touching the red. I may have to just go with it and see what happens. Oh, it's good. Is it good now? About the same? Good? Better? I'm trying to make it as loud as I can without sounding like I'm in a tin can or something. One, two, three, four. Good, bad, mostly good. Goodness, if I ever get my technology straightened out, it will be a great thing. Let's see. That is the speaker. Since my desktop computer died on me a few months back, I've been trying to make way with a little 10-year-old laptop until I get my desktop computer repaired. So it's been... Oh, Tim the Enchanter says, perfect. Oh, that's good. Because I think I've maxed everything out. Eventually I will get my desktop computer repaired and I'll be able to use it and OBS Studio, and by that time I may even figure out how to use StreamYard or whatnot. But anyway, neither here nor there. That's a story for another time, I guess. Good a time as any to get into the topic of tonight's live stream: the Disney dumpster fire, the good and bad of Disney. Now, I've been thinking about this off and on for the past 2 or 3 days about, well, like the old saying goes, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. I think there's even a Bible verse that says, don't find joy in somebody else's hardship or trouble. I'm paraphrasing badly there. Basically, don't celebrate somebody else's problems. Of course, when you're doing TV or movie reviews, you have to be careful, I guess, and not celebrate the bad. But with Disney, it is getting pretty difficult. I've been thinking about this, like I said, the past 3 days, and been finding myself wondering what should I expect, or what should I hope for with Disney. I've never been a particularly big Disney fan. I've never really cared for them one way or the other. Never really got into them. Don't follow them like I know a lot of people do. I know people dig Disney. They love everything Disney this and Disney that, and go to the theme parks and whatnot. I just couldn't get into them. I appreciate their cultural impact. At one time, they were putting out some family-friendly entertainment, I guess you could say, but that time, I do believe, has passed. But like I said, there's been some good to them as a company, and then some bad. I hate to be negative. I hate to be negative all the time, because I actually don't want to come on live streams and well, in the past I've joked about Disney failing and like, oh, burn Disney, burn, just because of the direction they've taken over the past few years. But I'd actually like to come on a few live streams and talk about the good they've done, or I'd like to say, oh, this Disney TV series was great, or this movie was fantastic. But you really can't say that over the past few years, because everything they've been putting out has not been all that great. Let me see here. If I click on my display capture and I make this go away, there we go. We'll get into some of the articles for tonight. I'm not going to go over everything. I'm just going to touch on highlights of some of these articles I've come across. This is, what is this? WesternJournal.com. Disney CEO talks potential fire sale of major assets amid devastating financial outlook. Now, like I said, I hate to be negative on a company. I hate to like celebrate when somebody's doing bad, because for a company, that means people will be fired, people will be unemployed, they're having financial losses. Like this right here, this one paragraph In the first few years since Iger's returns, things have not gotten much better, according to the Wall Street Journal's Disney beat reporter, Robbie Whalen. Iger has been having a hard time in the 8 months since his return as CEO. This is likely due to the fact that Disney parks, major motion pictures, and streaming platforms have all faced serious financial struggles in recent months. At least one financial analyst estimates companies' losses may have reached a staggering $1 billion between June of 2022 and June of this year. Perhaps that's why Iger is selling off many of the company's biggest assets. Which is actually kind of sad. It is really sad where Disney was when they first started and where they are now. Let's see, this article is saying the only non-core asset owned by Disney that Iger seemed to take off the table was ESPN. That's probably the only thing that they have left that could make them any money, which is kind of interesting. Let's see. Well, that's the end of this article. Like I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these articles. I've got several of them here. Let's see, what's this one? Let me make this one a bit bigger. There we go. Disney could soon sell its TV assets as Iger says business may not be core to the company. Disney CEO Bob Iger sat down with CNBC's David Faber at Allen & Company's annual conference on Thursday. Disney announced Wednesday that it was extending Iger's contract by 2 years through 2026. Let's see, Iger returned to the helm of Disney late last year. The company has since undergone thousands of layoffs and cut billions of dollars in spending. Now, this is the part that kind of makes me sad. I mean, we all can joke about how Disney's a big dumpster fire and it's the, oh, look how badly they're doing. But the people that are really being hurt by this are the people who are being laid off. It's not their fault. Disney is doing some very bad things. Well, actually, there is this one quote by Iger that I highlighted right here to read. After coming back, this is Iger speaking, after coming back, I realized the company is facing a lot of challenges, some of them self-inflicted, Iger told David Faber at Allen & Company's annual conference in Sun Valley, Idaho, noting he's accomplished a lot of work in the 7 months, but there's more to be done. Now, what I wanted to highlight right here is Iger saying he realized the company is facing a lot of challenges, some of them self-inflicted. That is, I think that's the key takeaway from this bit right here. What Disney is going through right now is self-inflicted. I mean, a great many people have talked about Disney going woke and so on and so on. Disney doing this, Disney doing that. That would be a subject for another time, perhaps. I won't dig into that deeply. It's just what we are seeing is the outcome of what Disney has been doing for the past 5 years or so. And we all had hopes when Disney bought Lucasfilm from George Lucas. Everybody was thinking, oh, that's great, it'll be fantastic. Maybe something good will happen. And then we were actually seeing what Disney was doing with Star Wars. And then we all saw what Disney has done with Marvel. What Disney has done with Indiana Jones. It's the direction they've taken things. It's the direction the company is headed. And they are reaping what they are sowing, so to speak. Let's see, there was something. Alright. Disney revealed that it would cut $5.5 billion in costs, consisting of $3 billion from content, excluding sports, and the remaining amount from non-content costs. The company earmarked 7,000 layoffs. That's bad. I mean, that's going to be 7,000 people out of work, all because of Disney's self-inflicted challenges. Going on to the next article here. What is this? WDWNT.com. Worldwide leader in Disney park news. I guess that's a D. WDW News Today. Bob Iger considering selling streaming services and other assets, may even try to sell entire Disney company. How bad of a shape is a company in when he's trying to sell off a lot of the assets? And I see Tim the Enchanter in the chat saying a lot of people online have been talking about how much more expensive the Disney parks are since reopening after the cough. Yeah, I can believe that. I mean, there's a great many factors going into the challenges we have in the economy right now, but yeah, ticket prices going up at Disney parks, that does not surprise me. Let's see, the takeaway from this article I have highlighted here. Disney's streaming services have been losing money and subscribers. Disney Plus lost 4 million subscribers last quarter. Streaming is expected to have hit a total loss of $800 million in the third quarter. I mean, just letting that sink in for a bit. Losses estimated at $1 billion. Here is $800 million. It's sad because looking back at like the 70s and 80s as a kid, I can remember the occasional Disney film. It's like they were fun, they were entertaining, they were family friendly. A lot of the stuff that Disney is promoting right now, I would not call family friendly. There is something that they, as a company, have lost. see. What is this bit? Iger does plan to hold on to Hulu. For some strange reason, they have to have that Hulu deal go through. It's like they can sell everything else off, but they have to close the deal with Hulu. And Disney will launch a combined app for Hulu and Disney Plus later this year. So they're trying to sell off a lot of stuff, consolidate, and have one unified, I guess, app for Hulu and Disney Plus. I guess so when people go to their Rokus or their Apple TVs or their Amazon Fire TVs and check out streaming channels and whatnot, there'll be one single app for Hulu content and Disney content. Disney will more than likely have to buy Comcast's 33% stake in Hulu in 2024. How? This is staggering because we're like I said, other articles said an estimate of $1 billion loss. This article is saying 800 million. They've lost 4 million subscribers. It's sad. Like I said, I've joked about wanting Disney to crash and burn because I have a strong dislike of their content now, what they've done to Star Wars, what they've done to Marvel. But when you look at the cost of this, mainly the loss in jobs, like the other article said, 7,000 people will be unemployed. That's the rough bit. Let's see. This is fandomwire.com. This was July 19th of this year. Disney CEO reportedly planning to sell Disney to Apple after projecting 800 million loss. So I won't go into this article too much. I was trying to read this article and it's kind of odd. It says up here he's planning to sell, but then there's bits in this article where they're talking about merging, which didn't make much sense. Alright. Apple is already a major player in the streaming market, which is surprising because I only recently found Apple TV Plus when they were promoting their Foundation adaptation of the Isaac Asimov Foundation novels. That was the first I heard of Apple TV. If this merger happens, it would give Disney access to Apple's expertise and resources. So are they merging, or is Disney going to be sold outright? So you say up at the top they're planning to sell Disney to Apple, and then down here it's saying the merger, if the merger well, is it a merger or is it a sale? Is Disney going to merge with Apple? I don't see that happening. This is odd. I don't follow this. The merger would also allow Disney to expand its reach into newer markets. How so? They're already streaming. They have Disney Plus streaming. Apple has Apple TV Plus streaming. There's nothing new there. Apple has a strong presence in China. Apparently, so does everyone else, I guess, maybe. Disney has been struggling to gain traction. The merger would give Disney access to Apple's Chinese customers. Just because you get access through Apple doesn't mean the Chinese customers would watch your product. If Chinese customers ignore content on Disney Plus, they will ignore content on Apple TV Plus. That's not a given. Is a merger between the two companies actually possible, and is it a good idea? First, the deal would raise concerns about antitrust regulation. This is actually the only article I've come across so far that has talked about a Disney-Apple merger. Second, the deal could lead to job losses. Disney and Apple are both major employers, and the merger could result in layoffs as the two companies consolidate their operations. I haven't really looked through very many articles on Disney news today. I was looking at these yesterday and the day before. So if there are other articles out there talking about a potential merger between Disney and Apple, I have not seen them. This is the only article I've come across so far. Actually, I'll be as bold as to say this is a poorly written article. Just because the headline up here says Disney reportedly planning to sell Disney to Apple. Not merge, but sell. And then you go down here and it's talking merger. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm making too much out of that. So as before, Tim the Enchanter in the chat. China's government dictates what movies or TV shows play there. That is a good point, Tim. Yeah, I can believe that. I can certainly believe that, because they're not going to be able to broadcast whatever they want willy-nilly and expect to gain traction in a foreign market. It's really puzzling what's going to happen with Disney. I want to celebrate them doing well. I want to be able to come and say, this Disney show was fantastic, or this Disney movie was great. I have not been able to say that in a number of years now. I mean, just looking back at, say, well, anything they've done Marvel-wise, that has not been enjoyable. WandaVision was disappointing. Did not watch. Had to turn my volume down there on my mic to cough. There we go. Back where it should be, I believe. Didn't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Had no interest in it. Didn't care for Loki. Didn't care for whatever else is out there. Secret Invasion. It's just none of these shows are appealing to me, and I imagine a lot of people feel the same, which is also leading to a lot of Disney's problems. They're putting out content that nobody really cares for, which is why article after article is talking about major losses like 800 million or $1 billion or this and that, after they spent so much money on Lucasfilm only to destroy that. I mean, Iger was really making a good point when he said some of the problems were self-inflicted. So, let's see, shifting gears slightly. I want to go back to what Disney was. Because I remember some things when I was a kid, like Fantasia. There was an era when Disney was fun to watch. They were quite enjoyable. They were good. They were family friendly. There was Fantasia. There was, what is this? Dumbo. What else do I have here for examples of Disney past? Bambi. That's a classic example here. Everybody enjoyed Bambi. Okay, perhaps a bad movie guilty pleasure from the 80s, Condor Man. I remember watching that as a kid in the theater and somewhat enjoying it. Enjoyed it at the time. I cannot tell you now what it was about. It's just that this is what Disney was even during the 80s. Let's see, this is the Condor Man movie poster, an action adventure romantic comedy spy story. All of that in a kitchen sink, all rolled up. Let's see, what else has Disney done? Tron. That's a classic, isn't it? That was by Disney. We have down here. Let's see if I can click on that, and there we go. From Walt Disney Productions. Tron. You children of the 80s, we probably have fond memories of watching this in a movie theater and being wowed by it. That was what Disney was. Let's see. What else did Disney do? The Black Hole. A journey that begins where everything ends. This was a very odd movie. As a kid, watching this in a theater, again from Walt Disney Productions, this was kind of a creepy movie at the time. So yeah, there was a period of time when Disney was doing well. Let's see, Tim the Enchanter says, I enjoyed a lot of the 70s live action movies from Disney, like the Apple Dumpling Gang. I kind of remember that. In the chat I see Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. Hello, thank you for joining me. I've been rambling on here about the good and bad of Disney. Don't know if you've been lurking some or if you're just now joining me in my live stream. Thanks for joining. I've been going on about the state that Disney as a company is in and how I find myself kind of wishing I could celebrate the good of Disney and what they've been doing, but here recently a lot of the problems have been self-inflicted, as Iger has been quoted as a saying. Let's see. Wade says we need the Black Cauldron live action. LOL. Yes. That actually leads me into this article. Nice segue there. What has been some of Disney's biggest problems? Let's see. Real Wade Nation Gaming, LOL, or Live Action. Lilo and Creepy Stitch. Yeah, I have not seen that. But this could be, as I said, a segue into... Let me see if I can resize this a little bit bigger. There we go. This is the direct.com. All 23 Disney remakes ranked worst to best. I'm not going to dig into this article. It's just... what can be said about some of Disney's self-inflicted wounds that they've been doing since they purchased Lucasfilm? They haven't really done anything original. They've gone into the remake or reboot or reimagine, re-whatever train, and have gone through their back catalog saying, hey, let's remake this and make it a live-action adaptation. Well, some of it worked, some of it hasn't. Well, let's look at this one. Peter Pan and Wendy. Audience meter 11%. Tomato meter score 62%. So here you have, say, movie critics, and here you have normal everyday folks like us, 11%. Let's see, Christopher Robin, that one seemed to have done pretty well. Dumbo, live action, kind of mediocre at 48 and 46%. Again, Lady and the Tramp, mediocre, 66 to 50, so maybe fair to middling good. 102 Dalmatians on the bottom third. Lion King, did much better. Mulan, movie critic score 72, regular audience 46%. I won't see that because as far as I'm concerned, the only Mulan Disney did was the animated one. Yeah, so it's hit or miss. Hit or miss here. Alice in Wonderland, Maleficent, Pete's Dragon, The Little Mermaid. Okay, I don't buy this. I do not buy that at all. Sorry. Beauty and the Beast, Jungle Book. Okay, some of these scores might not be accurate. They are what you might call fake news, perhaps. I don't know. Anyway, that's my spiel on Disney. I just wanted to talk about them some and the sad state that they are in right now, where they were where they've gone from flying high shortly after purchasing Lucasfilm and giving us all hopium that Disney will produce good Star Wars content, to now Disney CEO talks potential fire sale. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. It's just sad. It's sad. I mean, I don't hate Disney, but I don't particularly like them. There are some other things that Disney has been promoting that I find repulsive and quite offensive. I won't go into them live in this live stream. That might be something for a future live stream. Things in entertainment that I find offensive. So, switching gears here and moving toward the end of my live stream. Let's see, I've been rambling on here for about 40 minutes or so. And typically I start off with some news here, kind of talking about the rough news and whatnot, some negative stuff. And then I kind of pick cheerful subjects and whatnot to end my live stream. So here I was wanting to know the box office for this past weekend because I was really interested in what some of these movies are doing. I know I'm going to refresh this to see what happens. There we go, because all I really care about showing everybody is this chart right here. This is quite frankly mind-blowing. Oops, this bit right here. I never would have thought the Barbie movie would have done this well. Now, after this weekend, I do believe there's going to be a sharp drop in revenue this movie generates. To put it nicely, or to put it another way, I believe it's going to fall off a cliff after this weekend or next weekend. Oppenheimer. Let's just say Oppenheimer's done half. Let's just round this 155 up to 160. Let's just round it up and say Oppenheimer has done half of what Barbie has done, which is mind-blowing. I imagine half of this is nostalgia, perhaps. Adults who are children in the 70s and 80s and whatnot, who grew up playing with Barbie, now are now adult women wanting to go see a Barbie movie. I don't know. If you like that, that's great. More power to you. I will never see that. I have zero plans to see Barbie. I am genuinely interested in Sound of Freedom. That has been doing pretty well. Even though this is showing a negative here into its, what is that, third week? So, that's not too bad, though. I mean, this movie that has had very little advertising, I probably would not have known about this movie if it weren't for the negative press that it was getting from, the negative press. But it's resonating with a lot of fans simply because of the subject matter. Let's see, what else is there? Mission Impossible. They've done that. That's their total gross. Oh, Sound of Freedom, total gross, 124 million. This is really good for an independent movie. 3 weeks, they've done that. That is really impressive. More power to them. Let's see. Indiana Jones and a Dial of Whatever. Also Disney. Yeah. Disney, what are you doing? What is this? 159 million. I don't see it going much beyond that. We have, what is this? Miles Morales 2 by Sony. Oh, they're doing pretty well. 375 million. That's interesting. Transformers movie I'll probably never see. They've raked in 155 million. The Little Mermaid by Disney. They may do well to hit 300 million mark. They might do that. So there I was looking through this earlier, kind of, and then I started thinking, what movies are coming out there? What movies are going to be released this year that could get me into a movie theater? And of course, this leads me to movieweb.com, where we're looking at 2023 movie releases. I'm having a hard time remembering the last movie I went to a theater to watch. Let's see. What is out there that could pique my interest, that could make me go, wow, I've got to go and plant my butt into a seat and watch. It has not been any of these movies. Let's see. Let's skip ahead here. May, June. Oh, The Flash? No, that's a skipper. And that's going to skip that, like I'm going to skip Indy 5. I mean, honestly, there's only 3 Indiana Jones movies. You had the first Indiana Jones, you had Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, and then Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. That was it. The Last Crusade was the perfect ending to the movie franchise. The heroes won. They saved the day. They won. They beat the bad guys, and they rode off, quite literally, into the sunset. End of story. So nobody wants this. I don't care. Nobody wants that. What's coming out in July? We have Mission Impossible. I really like I like the effort Tom Cruise puts into his movies. I watched Top Gun Maverick, and that was an enjoyable movie. Tom Cruise, he's knocking it out of the park. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, I have no idea. I can't remember the last Mission Impossible movie I watched. What is this? Mission Impossible, 10, 12? Ever how many movies there are out there? I'm curious about that one, but that one will not bring me into a theater. Let's see. Barbie. That will make me run away from a theater. Let's see. Oh, Tim the Enchanter in the chat. With how fast some of these movies coming out for rental and streaming, I haven't been into a theater since Endgame. Yes. Very true. I think, Endgame was probably one of the last movies I went to a theater for. I really, really wanted to see Ford versus Ferrari in a theater, but I just couldn't swing it at the time. And then the Koof hit. But yeah, if there was ever a theater near me that had like Ford versus Ferrari and then Top Gun and then Top Gun Maverick just showing one after the other, I would be in that theater all day long. I would be buying 3 tickets, like, here's my money, I'm going to sit here, eat crappy movie theater hot dogs and popcorn, and just thoroughly enjoy myself with those 3 movies. Particularly Ford versus Ferrari. That's just one of my favorite movies of recent years. Let's see, what else is out there? Oppenheimer could be interesting, but no real burning need to plant myself into a theater and watch that. Let's see, here's August. Meg 2, The Trench. No. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No. Gran Turismo. I like the video game. I guess that's based on the video game, right? That's a pass, I guess, maybe. Blue Beetle. Oh, after the negative press Blue Beetle has had since their first trailer, I believe this is going to be a bomb. This is going to be yet another superhero bomb, unfortunately. White Bird, have no idea. Monkey King. Is that a Netflix I see there? Yeah, no. September. Okay. Equalizer. Equalizer 3, September 1st. That is going to be Denzel Washington. Now, being a child of the 80s, I have very fond memories of watching the Equalizer TV show with Edward Woodward. Oh, I see the Padawannabe. Hello, thank you for joining me in chat. Gran Turismo, a gamer becomes a pro racer. Oh, that sounds perfectly believable. You're what, sitting in front of your computer playing a video game, and then it's like he's standing in front of a real life car. So he goes from video game to car. Sure. That's believable. Equalizer 3 with Denzel Washington. I like Denzel. He's a good actor. This one could tempt me into a theater. This one could be tempting to bring me into a theater and watch Equalizer 3. Expendables. What is this, 4? Oh, goodness. Maybe. Perhaps. Let's see, what else? Oh, skipped ahead to October of this year. Kraven the Hunter. Kraven the Hunter. I'm going to file that as a maybe. I'm going to wait and see what the trailer looks like and what the initial reviews are. Then if that is decent to good, fair to middling good, I might go see that in a theater. Dune Part 2, yes. Yes, that could get me into a theater. November. Let's see. Oh, Tim the Enchanter in the chat. DC has damaged their reputation for their movies that it's going to take a long time to correct. Yeah. Yeah, they're in about the same shape as the MCU. I mean, actually, I think they might be a little worse off because at least the MCU started off really strong with Iron Man, and that pretty much paved the way for MCU Phase 1 and 2. Then, of course, MCU lost their footing and pretty much crashing and burning. But DCU never had a game plan. They never to me they never seemed to have a game plan out the gate. It was like somebody at DC was saying, "Oh, we have to play catch up. Let's do everything all at once." Well, don't we need to like lay out the groundwork with some initial characters? Now let's just shove everything into kitchen sink into 1 or 2 movies and throw it out there. And then we get the Superman versus Batman and Man of Steel and that nonsense. And then the 2 different versions of Justice League that I didn't particularly care for either one of them. November, Captain Marvel 2, The Marvels. Oh, talk about a dumpster fire. I thought I came across an article earlier today that said Marvel had pushed this back from November. I'm not too sure. I will have to go look that up. Let's see, what else is there? What's coming out? Trolls? No. What is this? The Hunger Games? The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. No. Napoleon? If it's a historical drama, that's a maybe, depending on how good it is. Let's see, December of 2023. Wonka, yet another Willy Wonka movie. No. You're not going to get any better than what we had in the past. Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel. I heard a little bit about Ghostbusters, the Afterlife sequel, and who was going to be in it. That is going to be a hard pass for me. Oh, I see in the chat, the Padawannabe. I'm just bummed the MCU never introduced the mutants correctly. X-Men were my favorite comic books. Yes, I do remember reading a lot of the X-Men during the late 80s and early 90s. Alright, I'm getting this, hello everyone. I had this little message pop up saying my OBS studio had disconnected and then reconnected. I can only hope you guys are still hearing me. The joys of live streaming technology. Anyway, I was saying hello to Lemon Pie. Good to see you in the stream. And I was rambling on a little bit about the X-Men titles and things that we will never see done justice. Fantastic Four, X-Men. I imagine they will be some variation of awful, like the Eternals was. Oh, the Padawannabe. It was buffering for a few seconds. It's good now. Thank you for letting me know. Sometimes OBS Studios does that. Let's see. December 2023, Star Trek 4. That's probably going to be a hard pass. I don't like the direction they're taking Star Trek as a movie franchise right now. Rebel Moon. I might see that in a movie theater just out of sheer curiosity. Rebel Moon. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Probably not. If I see that, that's going to be on streaming. Unconfirmed release dates. Babylon 5, The Road Home. Wishbone, Planes, Trains, Automobile remake. Yes, let's have more remakes of what's been done before. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles remake. That's fantastic. Under Siege 3. Why? Return to Silent Hill. Okay. I'm guessing the blank spots here mean there's no art or movie posters for them yet. Or I may need to reload this browser tab. Tim the Enchanter in the chat says, unfortunately, New Trek is dead to me. Yes, unfortunately. It is unfortunate. The number of sci-fi franchises that have died over the past 10 years or so. Doctor Who is dead. Star Trek, New Trek is dead. Star Wars is dying a slow death. Marvel is dying a slow death. All the franchises, all the entertainment that we fans grew up enjoying. We're just watching them being gutted right in front of our eyes. The Padawannabe. Is Rebel Moon the Star Wars... let me read that clear. Now, is Rebel Moon the Star Wars movie that they couldn't make a Star Wars movie? Yes. That's... oh, who's that fellow? Zack Snyder. If I recall correctly, he had a idea he was wanting to put out there for a Star Wars movie, and he was promptly rejected, and he said, that's fine, I'll do it on my own. So not a big Zack Snyder fan, but props to him for having the guts to go on his own and do his own thing. Rebel Moon, the non-Star Wars movie. And if he does a good job with it, it will be probably worth seeing. Who knows? Only time will tell at this point. So it's a space opera inspired film. Yes, it's a space opera inspired film. Yeah, it's what he wanted to do for Star Wars, but they wouldn't let him. It's going to be out there, I imagine. It's well, it's probably going to be good. Maybe. Who knows? Only time will tell at this point. Oh, what was I doing? I was looking at, oh, what is this? Unconfirmed release dates. Looking at these movie titles. Babylon 5. Yeah, anything Babylon 5. If it's released in a movie theater, I am going to be there. If it's J. Michael Straczynski, Babylon 5, I am there. No ifs, ands, or buts. Let's see. Rambo 6 again. Why? Does he need the money? Rambo 6, The Search for More Money. The Hunger, Super World, One Punch Man. Okay, the trend with live action anime adaptations. They're either going to be really, really good, or they're going to be really, really bad. There's nothing in between. Transformers 8, the franchise that just keeps on going. Fantastic Beasts 5. That's great. I haven't seen Fantastic Beasts 2, 3, or 4. I think I've seen 1, and that was probably enough for me. I mean, just looking at these movie titles alone, there's nothing out there that really... Superman reboot. 2020. Oh, yes. The new DC Universe Superman reboot with... what's his name at the helm? Was it James Gunn, I want to say? I don't know. Going by memory, and it's been a long day. But sure, whatever. If you think you can pull it off, DC, go for it. Let's see. Ghostbusters High, have no idea. Dark Days at the Magna Carta. James Bond 20. Didn't they kill James Bond? Let's see. Oh, back in the chat, the Padawannabe. I need to watch Babylon 5 still. I highly recommend that. That is one of my all-time favorite sci-fi TV shows. If I were to make like a top 5 or a top 10 all-time favorite sci-fi TV shows list, Babylon 5 would be like number 1 or number 2. For somebody new to Babylon 5, if you've never watched the Babylon 5 TV series, the first season is a bit rough because the actors are trying to find their way in their roles, but once you get into season 2, that show takes off. It is an incredible space opera. Padawannabe, I like that title, Rambo 6, Why again? Yes, yes. Oh, yes, yes. James Gunn. Yep. Not a terribly big James Gunn fan, but he does... There are movies he's done that have hit on all cylinders. Let's see. What are some of these titles here? The Purge 6. Oh, goodness. There's 6 of them now. Or there will be. That's probably 5 more than what there needs to be. Transformers animated prequel. Knight Rider movie. The Scorpion King reboot. Yes, that's what we need. The Scorpion King reboot. Is The Rock going to be in it? Is it that Scorpion King? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Is that what they're doing there? I don't know. Knight Rider movie, sure. Padawannabe. Season 1 is often bumpy in most series. Yep, very true. The Retirement Plan, Saving Amy, Jungle Cruise 2, Cinderella's Evil Stepsisters. So these two sound like yet more Disney disaster movies, which I hate to say it because, as I was saying earlier in this live stream, I don't want to be negative all the time about Disney. They were doing some good, some entertaining movies and whatnot early on. It's just only recently that they have taken a turn for the worse. Saw 10? How many people need to be tortured? Saw? Seriously. Like, if the first movie and the 5th movie weren't enough, it's like 10? Why? Let's see. The Woods, have no idea. Yeah, some of these look entertaining. Some of them look like hard pass. Only a few of these would actually bring me to a movie theater. In fact, let me open this guy up into a new tab here. Dune Part 2. That could bring me to a theater. Let's see. Alright, out of sheer morbid curiosity. Gran Turismo. Tim the Enchanter. I think I'd like to see a proper remake of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That could be interesting. I quite enjoyed the TV show. I was not a fan of the remake movie, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I didn't particularly care for that. For me, it was the TV show and then the books. if they could do a good job with it, if they could, as the saying goes, pay homage to it, it might be worth watching. I see the Padawannabe saying, well, Jungle Cruise 1 wasn't great, and Saw just seems like they are passing on the crazy to a different people now. Yeah, the crazy is being passed on. Alright, so I've opened up a few more tabs to check some of these movies out. Like I said, there's only 2, maybe 3 of them that would bring me to a theater. Alright, what is this? Good, strong movie poster. Very good movie poster. That makes you, that draws you in. Good job on the movie poster. Clean, simple. Not a lot of elements in there to make your eye wander. Good job. Let's click on this and see what happens. Dune Part 2. What can we expect from the cinematography? Dune Part 2 is sure to have breathtaking cinematography just as audience saw in the first film. Here's what we can expect. Yeah, that shot right there is certainly frightful. I quite enjoyed Dune for Part 1. I thought that was a good take on the property. I did quite enjoy Dune 1984. That was it was much criticized at the time, but yeah, I actually found myself enjoying 1984's Dune. All versions of it. The Alan Smithy version, the studio cut. Was not a big fan of the Sci-Fi Channel take on the Dune franchise. Oh, what's this? Padawannabe. Looks more like a giant eyeball in the sand. Yeah, now that you mention it. That's a really bad case of dry eye right there. You're in a desert. And then I read someplace that this Dune series was going to be possibly 3 movies. Oh, I just saw this. What is this? Most epic trilogies tend to make their second movie darker and more intense, but there have been rumors of Dune being a project comprised of as many as 4 films. I can actually buy that. As thick as that book was, there's no way you're going to cram all that into a 2-hour movie and have it do any justice. So yeah, if you can get 4 films out of that, that would do it justice, I believe. That would be interesting to see. Let's see, what else is here? Gran Turismo 2023, release date August 11th. Oh. Directed by Neil Blomkamp. However how you say his name. Orlando Bloom, David Harbour. Okay. This could be good. I kind of like Neil Blomkamp. Camp. Neil B. I just call him Neil B. I kind of like him as a director. Oh. Go away. There we go. I know. Click on the thing that says details. There we go. Summary and one sentence or two. The ultimate wish fulfillment tale of a teenage Gran Turismo player whose gaming skills won a series of Nissan competitions to become an actual professional race car driver. Based on a true story? What? Okay. Wow. That's, that's cool, I guess. Because honestly, my first thought about this, he's going from video games to real life. For the first thing I thought of was Last Starfighter or something like that. Kid playing video games in a trailer park, goes up in space to be the last starfighter. So this is the same but different. I don't know. Let's see. The Padawannabe. I will be interested to see Dune together. I have watched both films, but I fell asleep in the exact same spot on both versions. Yeah. You're talking about... Well, hello everyone, once again. I see OBS Studio was buffering. Buffering again. Well, I am back. Back now. Cool. Maybe OBS Studio is trying to tell me something like, oh, it's been a long day. What are you doing? Let me rest. So that's a Gran Turismo. That could be interesting. I'll wait and I'll see what initial reactions on from reviewers are on that. Let's see, what else did I open up here? Babylon 5, The Road Home. I don't expect anything. Oh, this is the animated show. Okay. Comic-Con coverage, Justice League, Babylon 5, Venture Brothers, and Metal Apocalypse movies to debut at San Diego Comic-Con 2023. That's cool. We got a trailer. Babylon 5. Why you should be excited for the sci-fi space drama's return. I was initially weary when I first read about J. Michael Straczynski wanting to do a remake of his Babylon 5 show. But since it's his baby and he is going to be in charge of the remake, yeah, you got to have faith in the original creator. They're not going to destroy their own creation. Especially when Straczynski was commenting a year or so back that he has all the technology now that he didn't have in the 90s for special effects and whatnot, storytelling and now and whatnot. So that will be interesting. So yeah, Dune. Yeah, Dune could draw me into a theater. Even the giant eyeball of Dune. Let's see. Anything else here? Oh, thank you, Tim, for saying that. Don't forget to hit the like button and like and subscribe and all that jazz. Let's see. I am Oh goodness, yeah, I'm pushing the one. I'm getting close to an hour and a half, and it has been a long day, so I'm probably going to wrap it up here and say thanks to everyone for joining me. Let me see who all joined me in the chat. Well, right off the bat, Tim the Enchanter, Appion, Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips, the Padawannabe, Lemon Pie showed up, and who else? That's all I'm seeing in the chat. I want to thank all of y'all for joining me. That was really cool. Thank you all for checking out one of my live streams here. Let's see. I'm trying to do more than one live stream a week, but with my crazy schedule, that's the best I can do at the point. I am possibly going to do something this Saturday, since this month, 2 years ago, was actually when I first started on YouTube. I've been on YouTube off and on for maybe 3 years, but the past 2 years I've been doing videos and live streams. So I might mark the 2-year occasion this Saturday. If my schedule will allow, I will do something during the daytime. If not at night. I don't like doing stuff late at night on a Saturday. So it may be doing something during the daytime, some kind of live stream. Plus, I've got to figure out how to make StreamYards work. It's crazy. I'm comfortable with OBS Studio. It's just I'm on a 10-year-old laptop, and OBS Studio drains the CPU and everything on my laptop, making it draggy. But I can perfectly understand OBS. I have a hard time figuring out StreamYard for some strange reason. And then there's EVMux, a StreamYard competitor, which I actually figured out how to use for a live stream once. I have not been able to replicate a live stream on EVMux since, which is kind of odd. If there's only something like OBS Studio that was browser based like StreamYard, that would be, I don't know, laid out the same, because I actually like how OBS is laid out. I like how things work on OBS Studio. I like how I can control the audio and whatnot on it. But anyway, it's been a long day, and I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. It's so very cool to see you all out there. If you've been lurking out there the whole time, thank you for listening. As always, I like to end my live streams with encouragement by saying life is too short for bad entertainment. If you don't like a particular movie or TV show, don't watch it. Go find something you enjoy and read or watch instead. Let's see, Padawannabe. The many strangers I know do a couple of test streams with StreamYard, then delete them. Seem to be the easiest way. Tim the Enchanter. I've enjoyed your content since finding you. Oh, thank you. Glad you've enjoyed it. Streamers, not strangers. Yes. And this has been fun. Thank you all for joining me. Until next time, see y'all later. Bye-bye.